They thought she was just a quiet farm girl, someone too timid, too soft, too powerless to stand up for herself. They laughed at her muddy boots, mocked her old clothes, and treated her silence as weakness. But what they didn't know was that behind the shy eyes of that small-town girl lived a storm. They had no idea that the same hands that milked cows at dawn had also broken records in a championship ring. And when the bullies pushed too far, her silence ended and their laughter turned to fear. This is the story of the quiet farm girl they should never have underestimated. Emily grew up in the heart of farmland, where mornings smelled of fresh hay and evenings ended with the sound of cicadas. Life on her family's small farm was quiet, sometimes too quiet. Her days were filled with chores, feeding animals, carrying water buckets, plowing fields with her father, and helping her mother with homemade bread. She rarely spoke in school. Her classmates often forgot she was even there. But the ones who didn't forget were the bullies. They saw her patched-up jeans and roughened boots as easy targets. Every day, whispers followed her down the hallways. Cowgirl, farm freak, dirt hands. She kept her head down, clutching her books tighter, convincing herself that silence was safer than fighting back. What no one knew, what she never told a soul, was that Emily carried a secret. Her father, a former fighter himself, had taught her the discipline of martial arts since she was 6 years old. While others thought she was just hauling hay, she was actually training, building strength, sharpening reflexes, and learning how to control her power. But at school she never showed it. She walked slowly, sat in the back of class, and avoided eye contact. She thought she could live her life in two worlds, the quiet farm girl in public and the fighter in private. That illusion shattered one stormy afternoon. During lunch, a group of the school's popular kids cornered her in the cafeteria. Sarah, the ringleader, sneered as she shoved Emily's tray to the floor. Food splattered across her boots. The whole cafeteria laughed. "Oops, guess cows eat off the ground, right?" Sarah mocked. Emily's cheeks burned, but she stayed quiet, refusing to give them the reaction they wanted. But they weren't done. Another bully, Jack, blocked her path when she tried to walk away. "Hey, don't leave. We're just having fun." He reached out and tugged on her braid. The laughter around her grew louder. Emily clenched her fists so tight her knuckles turned white. Her father's voice echoed in her memory. "Strength is not for showing off, Emily. But strength must protect you when no one else will." For the first time she looked up, directly into Jack's eyes. Something shifted in the room. The laughter softened. Jack smirked, not realizing he had just woken a storm. That night Emily couldn't sleep. Her chest ached from holding back tears. She replayed the cafeteria scene again and again, feeling the sting of humiliation. She hated herself for staying silent, but she also feared what would happen if she unleashed her strength. What if she hurt someone? What if she lost control? The next day at school, the bullies didn't stop. They cornered her near the bus stop, Sarah tossing Emily's backpack into a puddle while Jack snatched one of her notebooks and held it high. Reading her personal sketches out loud, the crowd cheered. But this time Emily didn't lower her head. She stepped forward, her eyes locked, her voice calm but steady. "Give it back." Jack laughed, tossing the notebook to another boy. "Or what, you gonna cry?" Emily's jaw tightened. "No." The boy caught the notebook, but before he could even blink, Emily moved. A swift step, a precise twist of her wrist, and the notebook was back in her hand. The crowd gasped. No one had even seen her move that fast. Jack lunged at her, anger flashing in his eyes. But Emily didn't flinch. With perfect control, she sidestepped, using his own momentum to send him stumbling to the ground. The gasps turned into stunned silence. Sarah rushed forward, furious. "You think you're tough?" she screamed, trying to shove Emily. But Emily's stance was unshakable. She caught Sarah's arm, gently but firmly, and pinned it just enough to stop her without hurting her. "I don't want to fight," Emily said, her voice clear. "But I won't let you treat me like this anymore." The bullies froze. For the first time, they saw her, not as the quiet farm girl they mocked, but as someone unbreakable. The crowd that had laughed now whispered in awe. News spread like wildfire. That night, Emily's classmates discovered what no one had known. Videos of her winning junior championships in martial arts years ago. They watched in disbelief as the same girl they had ridiculed dominated opponents twice her size. The next morning, the same hallways that once echoed with laughter at her expense were silent with respect. No one dared to trip her. No one dared to mock her boots, and slowly, something unexpected happened. A few kids who had laughed the loudest came to her, not with mockery, but with apologies. Emily didn't gloat. She didn't humiliate them in return. She simply nodded, offering a small smile, and walked away. Because her father was right. Strength wasn't about breaking others. It was about lifting yourself when no one else would. And in that moment, Emily was no longer the quiet farm girl. She was the fighter, the survivor, and the inspiration no one saw coming. Closing message. The world often underestimates the quiet ones, the ones who walk with their heads down, who don't seek the spotlight, who don't fight back right away. But sometimes silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's strength waiting for the right moment to rise. And when it does, it changes everything.